Hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday night. This one's a late one for me. Usually Alan and I meet around 4 o'clock Central, but since he's doing his European vacation, I'm on my own and kind of did some things around the house before doing this video. So it's almost 9:30 Central. Hopefully it doesn't take me that long to edit it. Hopefully I can still push it out to YouTube in the group um, before I go to bed. Um, I am pensive, for lack of a better word. I even wrote some things down that I kind of want to talk about or mention. Um, but there are a few things bobbling around in my head. Um, First, I'm struggling with the iOS app to actually build a product. It's called an archive, and the archive gets sent to test flight or to Apple's iOS store, basically. So I've done it before. It's just been quite a while. So just taking a couple days. So I got that on my mind. Um, the market, I am somewhat bearish. Um, I don't know. I don't like what I see in regards to layoffs, in regards to cost cutting measures. If you look at Ford today, Ford basically beat their numbers, and yet the stock is down after hours because of a bad guidance, or I think it's their guidance was the same as last quarter, meaning no increase kind of thing. So um, that's a little bit disappointing. Um, Chegg this morning, CHGG took it on the chin. Um, and I honestly, I didn't even know what they did as well, but they're into education materials, tutoring, that sort of thing. And if you think about it, I have a 9-year-old son, and oftentimes I hear him, "Hey Alexa, what's 9 plus 9?" Um, and there you go. So basically, using these AI tools um, to kind of use as an educational guide rather than the service that Chegg provides. Um, I I have this Wired magazine, um, and in the May edition, there's actually a very good article. Um, Let me see if I can find the title. Um, I saw the face of God in a chip factory. Um, it talks about Taiwan Semiconductor and how I think 80 to 90 um, chips are produced by them. It briefly mentions their conflict's not the right word, but their tensions with China, with mainland China, um, and how that is an understated risk to the world. Because if you think about microchips um, and how basically they're in everything, if that supply is somewhat hampered or um, China tries to take that over, um, that is basically bad news for the global economy. Um, Speaking of AI, Dr. Gregory Hinton, the uh, somewhat referred to as the godfather of AI, left Google, I believe. And there's a quote attributed to him saying, "My fear is that the internet will be unu- inundated, I don't know how to pronounce that, with false photos, videos, and text, and the average person will not be able to know what is true anymore." Which is very much um, something to think about. If you get your source of news, if you get your information from one source, um, that's kind of a detriment to you. You need to, it's almost like we've lost our bullshit meter, for lack of a better word. Um, when we tend to agree with things, we become less skeptical. And I'm afraid um, AI is just going to push that further. Because honestly, AI is built around data. It's built around, all it has is data to go off of. And if that data, that underlying data, I'm a programmer, and, we have this saying, garbage in, garbage out. So if it's based on data that's leaning, slanted, invalid, um, the results are going to be invalid. So if anything, I would just suggest be skeptical. Be skeptical of most things. Um, People are trying to sell you an emotion. They're trying to get you to react, and emotionally reacting is the easiest way to do that. Um, so, start being more skeptical. Um, Lastly, tomorrow is FOMC day. We'll see if they raise interest rates. If you recall, the last time they did, we had two and now the third bank failure. This past weekend, First Republic, FRC went under, or basically went insolvent. Um, they had millions and millions of dollars in deposits that were uninsured. Um, and they couldn't cover those deposits and cover their expenses as well. So the Fed kind of stepped in and said, "You're done." Um, I think JP Morgan, uh, I don't know. I don't know the risk involved with FRC's assets, but I believe Jamie Dimon and JP Morgan, no, Jamie Dimon's at Chase. Um, I believe JP Morgan got a good deal in regards to it. So um, I think that's all I want to talk about. Um, Hopefully, you guys understand. So we have an economy that's running what they say hot, basically. Inflation is up. Um, and one of the mandates of the Fed is to kind of tamper that. They don't want the market to run too hot, and they don't want the market to run too cold. So one of their tools to control that market is raising interest rates, which basically cools down the market a little bit. As interest rates rise, loans become more expensive. Um, People aren't as willing to take, or they think twice about taking out loans. So instead of borrowing money, which heats up the economy, they tend to save, which takes money out of the economy, or out of the money supply, and cools the market down. So that's kind of the intent of what um, the Fed is looking at in regards to raising rates. They would like to cool inflation. Um, However, they are running a very, or they're walking on a very tight rope. Um, you know, as we saw, Fed raised interest rates. Silicon Valley Bank, even FRB, Federal Reserve, or First Republic Bank, um, had these mortgages, or had these longer term loans that were tied up in lower interest rates. So as rates kind of crept past those, um, they were underwater, and basically um, had unresolved or unbooked losses. I think April 24th is when First Republic made their earnings announcement and said, "Look at that! Listen, we have all these loans that are at so and so percent, and now the economy's at so and so percent," um, and that kind of spooked investors, and it spooked depositors. So It's a real thing. So that's why I'm somewhat pensive and somewhat negative in regards to this market. Um, but I'm excited. I'm I need to get over this little minor blip in the iOS earnings app. I'm excited to get it to you guys for beta testing. I'll be curious to get your comments and what you feel works, what you feel doesn't work. Um, it's just going to take a little bit of thinking. So with that said, I'm going to let you guys go. I'm going to push this video out as fast as I can, um, and then maybe call it a day. We'll see if I get um, some ambition to start looking into iOS and Xcode. So take it easy, everyone. Uh, I appreciate your likes. I appreciate your support. Um, if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, please do. Um, and let me know. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know your thoughts as far as the Fed goes. Let me know how you're doing in the market. So, and finally, let me know if you're a bull or a bear. I'm curious. I really want to know how you guys view this economy or view this market. So, which are technically two different things, the economy and the market. So, um, take it easy. Bye, everyone.